This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
Welcome in. This is Meltdown Live. We're here with you on this Tuesday, this 10th day of June of 2025. I am Tim Melton as we broadcast from the Culver studio here on the show. We appreciate all of you who make us a part of your daily routine, whether you're watching live at 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern, or watching on demand. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button for us. It really does help us in a lot of different ways. Lots of movie discussion today to be had on the show, but I can't do it without my good friends. We're going to start off with the constant that's always here, Mr. Tyler Lionel Johns. Tyler, how's this Tuesday treating you, my friend?
Been a bit of a mixed bag. We've had some tech issues over in the other studio, the TNR studio today. A lot of just weird stuff. At one point, it just started playing the beginning of like a new segment on the replay while Jim was trying to do a live read. And so like they're in the middle of a conversation, and then you just hear Jim Dunaway.
Today has been a odd day where
But you and EG have given me some tips and some strategies for me to have a much better day tomorrow.
yes, we can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow we'll probably get heavier into it. But you're talking about taking a little trip for a concert,
Yeah.
and maybe trying to get some of those get-in prices there as numbers start to drop on tickets when things get underway. I think you're going to be able to pull it off. I really do. I feel confident.
I have more confidence now because I wasn't quite comprehending the full plan when we talked earlier, and then it clicked for me, and I go, that's how I'm going to work it out. Okay.
Typically, like it's a game of chicken, right? Like there's buyers, there's sellers, there's demand for the tickets, but the people who buy day of typically get ripped off, but the people who buy hour beforehand typically can find themselves a deal because the buyers start to get a little nervous. Like, I'm not gonna be able to sell these tickets, and I'm going to take a total bath on this. And, next thing you know, you're getting a good deal walking into the concert.
So the way I was originally going to do it, I was actually going to get hosed.
Potentially. Or as EG would say, potential.
Potential.
It was a potential that was going to happen. EG is out on assignment to vacation this week. So we are welcoming in the next best thing, which is Hunter Bussey to the program. Hunter, welcome back in, my friend.
What's up? It's been a minute.
How are you?
Good, man.
Excellent.
Great.
I can hardly hear you in that microphone. You're going to have to adjust. Yeah, you're going to have to adjust
Yeah,
it.
you got to get up in that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, really?
I don't know. If only somebody had told you beforehand. No, it's good. We're good. We have a lot to talk about today, and that includes the Superman news that Amazon Prime members are snagging up their tickets to see Superman. And we also have to talk about the new Eddington trailer that has just dropped. So I kind of want to start with Eddington because we're fresh off of having seen it. And this was in my top 10 most anticipated list, which for the most part has been pretty stellar. I'm pretty happy with it, minus Ballerina. Ballerina was a misfire. Should have taken Ballerina out, probably put Naked Gun in. Naked Gun was my next one, but that was before we'd seen anything. And like, I was just looking at the pieces going, this could very much work. But that was like, I was so high off of John Wick 4. I'm like, how could Ballerina not just absolutely raise the bar even more? And it did not. But Eddington is in my top 10 because Ari Aster, anytime he makes a movie, it always leaves me shook. It always leaves me going, what did I just witness? Hereditary, Midsummer, Beau is Afraid, which nobody else on the planet has seen, which still leaves me shocked. I don't like the movie.
You keep telling me to watch it just so you can hear my reaction. And there's been a number of times where I'm scrolling through Prime. I believe it's on Max, but I have Max through Prime. So I'm scrolling through Prime, and I come across Beau is Afraid, and I see that runtime, and I just go, not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
It's a long one, and it's one of those movies that I do not think is good, but has stuck with me. I remember it very vividly, but I have nobody else in my life that has seen Beau is Afraid.
Did you find out why Beau's afraid?
You do find out, I think, why Beau is afraid.
Okay.
But
Is he afraid of the dark? Does he just need a nightlight?
there's some very dark sequences. If you like movies where you cannot predict where they're going, Beau is Afraid is for you. If you like movies that are completely like, there's no way in a million years you would have been able to guess that from the onset unless it's spoiled for you, Beau was Afraid is one of those movies.
In like a David Lynch surreal way, or more of a suspenseful mystery, you just didn't see that coming way?
A little bit of both, actually. Okay. And if you see the movie, you'll go, like, yeah, that's probably right. A little bit of both. Okay.
Because I like a good mystery and a good one, a good suspenseful story that keeps you on your toes. Yeah. But I think I've told this story on here about watching Mulholland Drive and just not knowing what any of it meant or what the point of any of it was.
Yeah, you get both of that.
Okay.
And Beau is Afraid. Both of those vibes.
Well, I think another day has been added to whenever I watch it.
I don't blame you. I'm just saying I need someone, for me personally, to talk about it in a therapeutic way, and I'm hoping that you're that candidate. Jody chimes in and says, the Eddington trailer had a Civil War vibe to me. Yes, in the whole Jesse Plemons, what type of American are you sort of way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To me, it had sort of a Three Billboards sort of vibe to it. I don't know if you guys saw that movie with Frances McDormand and believe Sam Rockwell's in that movie. But it had sort of a vibe of that in there. But it also had a Beau is Afraid vibe to me because it is Ari Aster, Joaquin Phoenix, and the world is sort of blowing up. It is kind of jarring. I was telling Hunter and Tyler this while we were watching the trailer. It is jarring when it's just for a while it lingers just on the year 2020. Mm-hmm. There over the canyon. And it just lingers there to let you know, like, and it lingers long enough to where you're like, man, that was a crap year, wasn't it?
Terrible year.
It's a really bad year. But they linger on it just enough to where it's like, okay, it's set in 2020. And they keep lingering, and then you're like, "Oh man, it's set in 2020." Like it's it's a perfect amount of time.
Yeah, it's an amount of time where you go, "Oh, really? A movie about the pandemic? Of course, here we go." And you go, "Man, that year really sucked. Man, that was actually kind of a historical event. Now that I think about it, that I kind of just lived through and shoved into the back of my mind."
They did a good job though, making it feel like I mean, in a sense, a horror type of year, because like they're talking on the street 6 feet and then 2020.
Like, exactly.
Like, oh, snap. Okay. Here we go.
That's like a blur to all of us now of like trying to forget about that time period and move on. And this is like, nope, we're going to really hone in on just the lunacy of the whole thing. And it's heightened. There's no doubt it's heightened to a certain extent, but we haven't seen the movie and we don't know what context. But this movie's going to be insane.
Yeah.
And they say in the trailer, it's like throwing dynamite into a gas station or something something like that. And I can see it there on screen that this thing is going to get absolutely crazy. And Joaquin Phoenix, I think, is one of the most talented actors working today. Now, our last taste of him in a commercial capacity was Joker for Leah Do. And while it's the same character he won an Academy Award for, it goes to show how important direction is and how important screenwriting is and how important all those little things that don't get talked about as much because we're always talking about actors and we're always talking about, the big names associated with the big IP. But Joker for Leah Do goes to show how you can take what is a successful formula in 2019 and completely throw it on its head. So, and he needs a commercial hit. I don't know if Eddington's going to be that. I hate where this movie is positioned in the calendar. I do feel like this would be a stronger fall sort of affair. I don't like it being in the summer. Tyler?
I think it plays better in the fall, but I don't see it affecting box office. This movie's going to be split either way, both commercially and critically. People are going to watch this trailer and either immediately be all in or immediately be all out. And I imagine from what I've seen from early reviews from Cannes and stuff like that is, you're either all in on the movie or you're all out.
Which way are you leaning right now, Tyler? If it's one of those two things after seeing the trailer, are you more excited to see it or are you less excited to see it? Because I do feel like in the general public, sort of their mindset, this movie and like the Leo DiCaprio movie that's coming out, they sort of feel visually intermingled where it's like they both sort of are targeting the same type of crowd and they both are looking to be a little challenging. And I don't know. They both kind of have the same vibe of Leo and Joaquin sort of playing the same type of small town. Things are blowing up in this small town and they got to stay in this small town sort of vibe. And They're both huge actors. I don't know. I'm getting the vibe that both of the marketing campaigns are very similar. But I'm high on Eddington, especially after the trailer. I thought that trailer was dynamite.
It was a good trailer. That being said, am I like hyped up to watch it? Not necessarily, even though I think it'll be good. And that's just because of its subject matter.
Right. That's fair.
It is entirely because I would just rather not
It's gonna be heavy.
think about the year plus that was spent having to stay away from people and isolate myself in a studio apartment, and then when you walk outside, it feels like you're in Fallout or something because everybody's got bandanas and they've got a hand sanitizer locked up, and so you got to go talk to the shopkeep. It's nuts. I don't want to think about it.
The movie itself is a trigger warning. The movie itself is a trigger warning, and everyone is being warned that this thing is going to change your mental state. And that alone is going to create a lot of buzz, especially if people are like, man, this thing is just absolutely insane. Like if people walk out of Eddington going, this thing's absolutely insane, you got to see it, it's going to generate a lot of money. If this is, man, this thing is absolutely crazy, what a waste of time, it's going to destroy its chances of making any money. So what's the consensus going to be? We shall see, but it's going to take some big swings. And I know this filmmaking team very well, and they are going to go for the fences. They're not going to hold back. They're not going to leave anything left in the chamber. And I respect that because it's very rare where you have a director that has as much pull to get as much stuff across on the screen as he wants to do, even if it doesn't land every time. Beau Was Afraid was one of my most anticipated movies of that year, and I hated it, but I have not stopped thinking about it because it is a challenging, weird, odd, I've never seen anything like it type of movie, and I think this movie has a chance to be one of those, we've never quite seen anything like this type of movie.
I agree with you, and to your point, we haven't seen something like this. COVID was recent, and this is throwing us right in the middle of the pandemic. Yeah. And to your other point, I also like when directors take those swings and say, this is what the movie's about, because you just end up with more interesting stories that way. I mean,
more interesting conversation too.
Absolutely. Think back to last year when we saw Civil War. Our main criticism against that movie was the lack of politics in it. You can have something in there that we disagree with in our personal lives or disagree with story-wise, whatever, but not having it in at all just makes it a weak story that isn't worth talking about.
And this movie looks like it's unapologetically going to get into different viewpoints, and it's going to tell you where everybody lands, and it's not going to tell you what's right, what's wrong. It's going to tell you this is what this character thinks, and this is what this character thinks. There's not enough movies that have the guts to do that today.
I agree. Now, I will be critical of this movie because they bring up Ari Aster, and I believe Emma Stone has also mentioned this, that it will feature a lot of conspiracy theories. And as the resident conspiracy theory junkie here at Disrupt Media, I'm going to be making sure they dot the I's and cross the T's, make sure we get all of our theories straight, and they don't try to misrepresent people.
So, Hunter, break down the COVID-19 pandemic for us and exactly what transpired. What was the truth? Can you give us the entire rundown of No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
How did it
This
start?
is your nightmare, right?
I'm good.
This is your nightmare. No, what did you think of the trailer, though, honestly?
It did a good job of, like, to me, I don't know if y'all felt this way, but, like the first 2 weeks when everything just stopped, you know what I mean? Like, everyone just stopped what they were doing.
Yeah.
They do a good job of that movie feeling very, like, the town... Like the kid, when he's driving by the car, he's like, who are you talking to, man?
That's a great point.
Like, it's just like, it feels very empty.
I remember very clearly, we didn't know what was going on, but we knew, like, we needed to be prepared to be in our houses. And my mom...
For a while.
My mom desperately needed some, like, hamburger buns. And I went to the store, and it was like the store from the Robin Williams Jumanji movie. I mean, the place had been picked apart. There was a broken police car in there for some reason. I mean, I was able to find the hamburger buns because they were on the very top shelf in the very back, and I was the only one who had the eyesight, the line of vision to know that I could just grab them off the top. But grabbing those, I mean, people were staring at me going, people were in a panic. I mean, it was like,
Oh, it was like at one point I thought we were about to lose the value of U.S. currency and toilet paper was about to be the go-to.
well, it was for a second.
It was, yeah. That's what, like, I was at the beach when that happened. I was still, in college, spring break, and on the way down, my dad called me, like, hey, they just canceled the SEC tournament for basketball. I was like, well, okay, cool, but they're not going to cancel March Madness. They're not that, that's millions of dollars on the table, that's going to, go away if they do that. And then I'm sitting on the beach, Dad, hey, they just canceled it. National pandemic's been declared, all this. I'm like,
I'm glad you brought that up because that is the first moment where a lot of people are like, oh, this is real. Because they're not canceling this for nothing.
And there's a grocery store. I don't know if y'all are familiar with, people that are watching Gulf Shores, the Beach Club, Fort Morgan area. There used to be like a Winn-Dixie there. I think there still might be one there. Might be a Publix now. But we went to go get toilet paper because we were out at the condo we were at. It was me and some buddies. And there was nothing there. It was desolate. It looked like the rapture had happened. There was nobody out and about. I'm like, it's still spring break, right? Either that or we've missed the big one. We've missed the train. You know what I mean?
I think this is the only proper follow-up. I mean, did you just go in the ocean?
No.
Oh. I would have said that could have been a solution. Like.
I get in the ocean sometimes. If I'm at the beach, like if I'm physically on the beach, I just like to kind of sit there. I'm more of a pool dweller.
Well, I mean, like, did you go in the ocean?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
You understand what I'm alluding to? Do I
yes.
need to mute the mics and tell you?
No.
Okay, you got it? All right. I was just wondering, because at least you're near a body of water where you could take care of business, and it's like a, little saltwater bidet.
Yeah. With the way my luck's gone, though, who knows what would have happened
Exactly.
at that time.
That would have been a horrible thing.
I think a saltwater bidet would probably be bad for you.
Like,
I was also at the beach when the pandemic started, though. I was down in Gulf Shores, too.
So, people don't know this, but, like, Hunter will ask me multiple times before he appears, like, what are we talking about today? And I had no preparation or preparation H to talk about saltwater bidets, and here we are talking about it. So I'm so sorry, Hunter. If this is your last appearance, I understand why. But I gave you no information, and I didn't know we were going down this road.
Gotta watch out for like sand fleas in the saltwater bidet.
Saltwater bidets can be difficult, but I know people who just, they're like, hey, this is nature. Let it happen.
The jellyfish thing was bad.
Exactly. So anyway, that's the Eddington trailer. I'm gonna eventually say that word right. Eddington trailer.
I waiting on you to say Paddington.
Eddington, I can say. Eddington gets tough for me. I don't know what it is. Eddington.
I wonder if Sheriff Joaquin Phoenix likes marmalade.
I don't know, but I can definitely see his character doing that. I worked with a guy in radio who looks just like the Joaquin Phoenix character in this. They talk the same. It's almost like he's doing a biopic of that guy, and it blows my mind every time I watch it.
I'm disappointed because I thought for a second you were going to say you worked with a guy who looked like Paddington Bear.
No, I did not.
My brain is just going in all sorts of weird places. Should we?
We are. Yes. Well, here's what I want you to do, though. I'm going to start to tell the story here. Tyler, I do want you to get the details of where how the Superman Prime stuff is working. With the Prime membership stuff. So be prepared for that. Yesterday I went and did a double feature. Okay. One of them took place in saltwater. It's a movie called Dangerous Animals, and it's a horror movie, and I loved it. I think it's my second favorite movie of the year.
Was it like
I'm not kidding.
Was it like like Under Sinners or?
Right Under Sinners, yeah. Okay. I love shark movies, and I love horror movies. And I love slasher movies, and I love all that. And this is just a crazy, wacky blend of all the things I love.
Okay, yeah.
Like if there was a movie that I actually felt like I was writing it while I was watching it. I was like, I could have written this. This could have come out of my brain because this is all the things I love in one movie. I really do feel like if this movie had been made 10 years ago with Tom Hardy and Jennifer Lawrence, which it very much could have based on the roles, that this would have been a smash hit.
Who's in it?
So this has Jai Courtney, and then the cheap man's version of Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know who she is, but that is exactly who I felt like was on screen the entire time. But it's a incredible thrill ride adventure that has no reason to be as good as it is. It's my late night with the devil of 2025.
Still haven't seen that either.
Like,
Wow. That is some high praise.
I loved it, man. I mean, I really loved it. It knows exactly what it is, and it does not
Oh,
apologize.
I agree with that. Oh, 100%. This is like I described it as a movie you'd watch on a rainy day on the Sci-Fi Channel, and that's not meant to be negative towards the movie at all. I mean that in the best possible way. This movie is like, it's kind of wonky at times and just kind of out there, but it knows it is, and it just plays it straight.
It makes no apologies for what it is, and I make no apologies for loving it.
And weirdly enough, I think that's the best we've ever seen Jai Courtney on screen.
Really bold hot take there.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a low bar, but
Compared to
like Captain Boomerang
Come
from
on now.
Suicide
Come on
Squad,
now.
or A Good Day to Die Hard as John McClane's son.
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, they really tried to
man.
make Jai Courtney an action star.
anyway.
Didn't work out.
No.
Loved the movie Dangerous Animals and really thought it was just crazy. And there's some wooden acting in it, okay? And there's a couple of moments where I'm like, that makes no sense. But, oh man, I love the craziness of it. So, Dangerous Animals may be my second favorite movie of the year. And I've got it ranked ahead of Final Destination Bloodlines. That's how much I loved
Really?
it. Oh my gosh, I loved this movie. Loved it. Yep.
Holy.
So, Dangerous Animals, there we go. I told you, I'm a sucker for shark movies, slasher
I
movies,
know,
horror
but
movies. This is
jeez.
everything all in one.
shocked.
Love it. Okay, we got to talk about this, though. I went and saw Dangerous Animals in Theater 13 at the
How
Summit.
ironic.
Theater 13 at the Summit. Auditorium 13. I'm sitting in seat F1, Auditorium 13. I book, while I'm in there, a ticket for Friendship. I'm doing a double feature. I didn't know this, but I was booking the exact same seat that I had just set in for Dangerous Animals for Friendship. Theater 13, seat F1.
So you just didn't move.
I didn't. The thing is, they don't tell you what theater you're in until after you
Yeah.
book the ticket. And I didn't think about it until I got scanned in, and I'm like, man, I'll be in the exact same theater in the exact same seat. I'm like, I'm glad I kept it warm. You know, it's going to be perfect.
Hello, old friend.
So I get in there, and I go back in for Auditorium 13, seat F1. There's a reason I'm telling you all this.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in there, and I'm getting ready for Friendship. The trailers are playing. And I look down, and I swore I was hallucinating. But you know who I see? Tyler Lionel Johns. And I'm like, now this has happened to me before, where I've been in a theater, and I see somebody who looks just like Tyler, but it's not Tyler. And I'm like waving weirdly. And they're like, what is this weird giant man in the back waving at me for? And they probably get freaked out, but it ends up not being Tyler. And this one, I'm like, I think that's Tyler. And it was. And Tyler's been trying to get me to see this movie called Friendship. And I've been,
I heard it's pretty good comedy.
we'll talk about that.
Now, wait, quick second. Breaking news update. I found the Prime, or the, Amazon Prime Superman showing. You buy it through Fandango after you log in on Amazon.com/Superman. And it's in the Vestavia Prime Theater. Reserved seating.
We got a whole segment of this coming up.
Oh, my bad.
You're good. Like I told you, be ready for it. We got a whole segment of it coming up. But
that in the chamber
you're
ready to
good.
go.
Hey, just repeat that information in a couple minutes,
When you
okay?
asked me to look it up, I thought you wanted
No,
to
I want you to
know.
look
My
up and
bad.
have it ready. You're good. You're good.
I'm falling apart this
Well,
week, guys.
we're going to
I'm
explain why
sorry.
in just a second. I look down, I see Tyler Lionel Johns in this theater, right? Yeah. Auditorium 13, seat F1. I'm sitting there. I'm watching him down there. And I'm like, Tyler must have been jealous that I'm about to watch this movie because he loved it so much that he's going to watch it again, I guess. He texts me, I thought you were seeing Friendship, ... And I'm like, is this a joke or something? Or did I have that thing happen? You know what I started thinking?
Yeah.
I had that app thing happen where I got screwed over in Ballerina, where they ended up booking me in a theater that didn't. And now anytime you do double features, they screw up the app. I'm thinking to myself, like, because I did a double feature that day too with Karate Kid and Ballerina. So I'm like, there must be something wrong. I'm like, my ticket, it says Auditorium 13, seat F1, ... And he doesn't respond. And I'm like, what is happening? And then he goes like, wait, this isn't Auditorium 14? And I'm like, no, I know very clearly this is Auditorium 13 because I've been in here all day long. So I knew for a fact I was in the right theater. And so next thing I see is Tyler get up and run out of the theater. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Now, if you look at the reverse perspective, Tyler is looking at me on the back row going, that dirty liar said he was going to see Friendship, and he's actually in here in the Al Pacino church movie.
He's actually roughing it out here in the Al Pacino exorcism movie.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't see that thing. So Tyler ended up in the right theater eventually, but we had a good laugh about it because he hasn't had the best hit rate this week. And there's things in his life that are going a little wonky, which worries me about sending him over to another city to go see this concert now.
Yeah, I might end up accidentally buying the tickets for the Tampa show or something.
Right. Somehow you're going to end up seeing the Dixie Chicks, and I don't know how.
Oh, that's like the opposite of Wu-Tang Clan.
I know. That's exactly why I picked them. Like, you're going to get the dates mixed up.
That's a good pull.
Even
just the chicks now.
I'm sorry. Sorry for all the Eddington people out there that are going to cancel me for saying that, but just the chicks. But anyway, so Tyler's not been on a heater, and then he had to sit through this Al Pacino exorcism mockumentary. I mean, that sounds like a nightmare. Hoo-ha! That sounds like an absolute nightmare.
You know what's funny about Al Pacino lately? Because I saw your review of the short, and it made me laugh because y'all remember Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, how he's like the guy telling Leo's character like he's a washed-up has-been?
Yes.
The irony of that, to me, it just cracks me up. It just, like, he shows up to these award shows, he's hammered out of his mind. Was it the latest Oscars? He goes out on stage, doesn't even do the build up. He just goes, who's who won?
Pretty much.
No, Al, what are you doing?
Al Pacino lives by his own rules, and everyone's cool with it. And he has a very young child, and so that's odd to think about. Anyway, Tyler would not recommend that movie. However, Tyler, we are in agreement. Friendship is killer funny.
So much
fun. I
so much fun.
Weirdly want to watch it again.
When you told me I was in the wrong theater,
you should have stayed.
I should have, because I sat down for the ritual, and I see Al Pacino look into the camera for a reaction shot, like John Krasinski, and I'm thinking, son of a... I should have just stayed.
You should have stayed.
I should have stayed enjoyed the magic of Tim Robinson and him just being an absolute goof.
My theater was cackling, okay, which typically doesn't affect me. I've been in a lot of comedies throughout my life. It made me realize this doesn't happen anymore. We don't have audiences just outwardly laughing in theaters anymore. And it really hit me. And it didn't make me sad. I was laughing. Yeah. The movie, from the first 5 minutes, I'm laughing. And I'm like, it's so low key funny. And there's going to be some people who are like, that's the worst movie I've ever seen. There's some people who are going to be like, that is the worst thing I've ever seen. I think it is hysterical. And every time you think they've drained every bit of laugh out of a scene, there's one little extra thing at the end that makes you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe they just said that. That's so brilliant. That's so funny. The movie is brilliant. And people are not going to talk like this right now. Mm-hmm. But 5 years from now, people will be saying that movie Friendship is a classic. And I'm telling you, that movie, if you get a chance to see it and you are okay with really oddball humor.
Really crass humor. They make no attempt to try and not work blue, I guess. Yeah. Or to take the high road, not shoot for the low-hanging fruit, whatever the expression you want it to be.
It also may be one of the more disturbing movies I've seen this year.
It's very disturbing. I told you, it's like a Cable Guy, but from Jim Carrey's perspective.
Kind of, yeah, but so much better.
Yeah.
Like this makes me never want to watch Cable Guy again because this one is actually funny. So yeah, Friendship. Guys, see it if you get a chance, especially with an audience. We just don't laugh in theaters enough anymore, and I absolutely love that.
Make sure to get a Black Forest ham on Italian herbs and cheese.
Absolutely. Let's talk Superman. Tyler, I believe you have a breaking news update?
Breaking news update. Starting today, June 10th, you can reserve your ticket for the Superman Prime member early access screener. For July 8th is the day of the screening. So what you're going to want to do, if you go to Amazon.com/Superman. From there, you'll be directed to log into your Amazon account. And then you're going to click another button, and it's going to take you to a Fandango page. And then you're going to go up to the top corner and punch in your zip code so you get the right list of theaters. And then you're going to select which theater you want and which seat
So
you
do
want.
get to choose which seat.
Reserved seating.
Okay.
So that gets rid of a lot of our worries other than just coming out of pocket for it rather than using an A-list reservation.
So I gave you some dramatic music there for that breaking news update.
Oh, cool.
I am not going to see it that Tuesday. I have made peace with that. Now, I have no problem if you see it that Tuesday. I have no problem if anybody else chooses to see it that Tuesday. To me, I'm going to look way more forward to it, seeing it on Thursday, a traditional opening. I always get bummed out when I see it a couple days before, and everyone's going to see it for the first time. I want to be a part of that magic of that first screening on Thursday.
But what if it's so good you could see it for the second time on Thursday?
I will watch it for a second time on that Thursday if I feel like that's the case.
Okay.
Because that's the way for me, I've really debated this. Are you okay? What happened over there?
I accidentally hit the mic. Everybody hit me in the face. We're good.
Goodness sakes, Hunter, you're such a danger. Anyway, I'm going to see it on that.
I tried to keep it low key, but I just see it hit him in the lips. And he goes,
What scared
his
me? I was
head
like, what the
pops back.
You and that microphone today.
I know.
This is why you sit over in that chair all the time.
Yeah.
But we're going to.
It looks a little occupied right now.
Just don't break anything. We replaced the monkey in here that was destroying everything with Hunter, who's now a human wrecking ball. So that's great.
What y'all end up doing with that, by the way? Throw it away?
It's hidden to be, never disturbed by humans again.
Let me tell you this.
People cannot wield that kind of power.
Tyler, I forgot something up here the other day that I had to look for. I'm not kidding. And I said, I don't need to cut on the lights. And I went to the monkey's hiding spot, and I opened the door, and I forgot the monkey was in there, and it was terrifying. And I was like, whoa! Because it's like, it's awful. But anyway. So, Superman. I'm not seeing it on that Tuesday. I'm a Prime member. I could get access to these tickets. Not going to do it. I'm going to see it on Thursday. General audience, opening crowd. I'm going to let the anticipation build because if on Tuesday everybody's walking out going, it's amazing, I'm going to be even more excited. If on Tuesday everybody's walking out going, oh my gosh, what a stinker, at least I will go, I didn't get bamboozled out of the $30 to go see it, really less than 2 days beforehand because we're going to be seeing potentially a very early screening of it on that Thursday. So, I hope you can be there for that. If you decide, have you decided whether or not you're going to the Tuesday screening? You don't know. You're up in the air.
Yeah,
Okay.
I might, but I don't know. It would feel like I don't know. Tuesday premieres just feel weird.
They do.
Yeah.
But do what you got to do. You tell me which way you're going there, but I think
I could go either way, but I will most likely just be seeing it Thursday to keep it with A-list.
I'm going to see it Thursday. It just makes more sense to me.
I know that this is obviously they're doing this for a promo with Amazon.
Yep.
I get that. Do y'all find it odd, though, they're doing it so early to have these early screenings for people to either trash it or, put it on the top of the mountain?
It tells me they're confident in it.
Yeah, me too. But at the same time, you have these people that will probably review bomb it, the Snyder stands, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. It's, DC superhero movies right now have not had, like, I meant to tell you, I watched Captain America Brave New World finally the other day. That is like some CW quality MCU trash.
That's why we told you don't waste your money on it. Now, I don't feel like Superman's going to go into that territory. Some people are going to portray it as going into that territory because you're right. They already made up their mind. They hate the movie before it comes out.
Yeah.
Those people don't have a lot of pull, though.
Yeah.
They're keyboard warriors. They're loud. And they're very much anti everything about it, not having seen anything really from it. And I may be a part of that this movie sucks crowd, but it won't be for political reasons. It won't be for, because I'm trying to defend another era that I grew up with or something. It won't be because, Snyder fanboys get a lot of hate. But make no mistake, there's Christopher Reeve fanboys who are also like any other version of Superman should not exist. Like,
Poor Brandon Routh.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
that's
fair. Okay, let's do this. Superman tickets are out there for Prime members. We're probably going to go with general audiences. We'll see if that changes for some reason, but that is where we're going to go. I do want to tell you where else you should go, and that is Grants Mill Road with Dr. Jeff, Dr. Brian, Dr. Nolan. Had a coworker of ours reach out to me today and be like, hey, I'm in desperate need of a dentist. I know you've got one you trust. Give me all the information. And I did that, and I'm very excited for him to go check out Alabama Dental Associates, as he's going to have a great time, and I'm looking forward to getting his full feedback and experience there, and I'm advising you to do the same thing. They provide you all sorts of services when it comes to staying on top of your dental health. You're seeing them flash across your screen right now as we speak. Whether you have major work that needs to be done or you need to get on top of those regular cleanings, they are there for you at Alabama Dental Associates. Maybe you've been unhappy with your dentist. Come on over to my side of the street there on Grants Mill Road at Alabama Dental Associates, making you feel at ease about all of your upcoming dental procedures. For more information or to make an appointment, call them and their professional staff at 205-956-8977 or visit alabamadental.com, where they look forward to seeing you. Tyler, what you got for us?
All right, we got Jeff in the chat. Brother-in-law Jeff, your Jeff,
Okay.
Tim. He says, we started Beau is Afraid, but Carla pretty quickly called it, and we watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure or some other staple.
It's the problem with Beau is Afraid. You can't have a discussion about it if you don't watch the whole thing. Now, it's not a good movie, and I highly advise you never start it unless you want to go down the rabbit hole of needing some sort of therapeutic discussion. But you can't go halfway with Beau is Afraid. You got to watch the whole thing in order to be able to really talk about why it is what it is. So, anyway, there you go.
Jay, talking about the random shortages, like the TP shortage during COVID, says the crazy thing was you could not get sliced bread or deli meat at the store, but you could go to the deli section and get bread and deli meat. People just don't think critically. Yep, that's about what happened. Anything that takes more than a step or two, you could find pretty easly, but any of like the ready to go stuff, it was gone.
Sorry about your Oscar Mayer, but hey, we got Boar's Head right here for you.
Yeah, oh man, I guess I'll put up with some Boar's Head.
I'll tell you what upset me, and this is silly, but it's a couple things. Number one, let's just talk about Walmart for a second, okay?
Okay.
Walmart decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have one way in, one way out. We're going to close all the other entrances and exits.
They made like a maze for you to stand like in line. It's like, this is how you get exactly 6 feet from everyone going through the aisles at all times.
My thing is, isn't it so much safer to have multiple entrances and exits, like instead of everybody funneled through one?
I would
when
think
you're trying to practice social distancing.
I would think so. So that way, well, it's also the same logic as closing the florist and the butcher and the sporting goods store, but keeping Walmart open that sells all of that stuff.
You're fair. You're fair there. Let me say something else. The dang arrows in the aisles telling you which you could only go one direction. Like,
I hate them. I hate them, Tim. No,
I've never seen it this way.
When I was in Auburn, I just had to grab something on the end of an aisle, and I walked the wrong way 2 feet into this aisle to grab like a bottle of Yum Yum sauce for my rice later that night. And a worker yelled at me and accused me of like putting people in danger. The aisle was empty, by the way. It was just me walking down that aisle to get the Yum Yum sauce.
Yeah, people respected those arrows in the aisles like they respect the arrows in the parking lot. They don't. You know what I mean? It's not there.
We were at Disney World late stages of the pandemic, and my daughter was in a stroller drinking water, and the worker came up and said that she's putting everybody at risk and needs to put her mask up.
Oh, please.
And I'm like, honestly, we're outdoors too. So I'm like, I understand, like, you are on this little power kick or whatever, but do we really need to have a conversation about this? But you know what? You have a conversation about it, and all of a sudden it turns into that scene from Meet the Parents where he's trying to have a conversation with the flight attendant, and she's like, "Sir, you're being aggressive." "I'm not being aggressive." And it's like, "Sir, you need to calm down." "Sir." And then like the air marshal, "Sir, you need to calm down." It's like, no, she's the one being, it's like, "Sir, quit raising your," and the next thing you know, I'm the giant who's wrecking Snow White's village or whatever. Anyway.
You threatened to bomb the airplane.
Exactly.
Y'all remember the people that would get on you for not having your mask all the way over your nose?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like, so there was a store, I don't want to call anyone out, so let's just call the store Best Buy. So we're over at Best Buy, and they told me that I had to leave because I didn't have my face mask over my nose.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Putting everybody
for
at
real?
risk.
I was like, I
Yeah.
can just put it in there. Like, no, you need to
No, it was
leave.
crazy times. Restaurants, you could, as long as you were masked in the little lobby, you were good to then, once you got seated. You know.
For your walk from the like the hostess area to the table, got to keep that mask on. As soon as you're at the table, mask off. You're good.
Look, most people don't want to cause problems for employees at places, but it was insane.
I just
Eddington
have
is going to tap into that.
I just have this sort of personality where, like, if you present a rule to me and you give me a reason why it exists, I'll be like, yeah, no problem. I got no issue. But then if you either don't give me a reason at all, or just kind of say, well, it is what it is, or just like a real dumb reason, then that's when I'm like, hang on, let me push back on this. Why do you think that?
Yeah.
That's what leads to a lot of confrontations with, like, minimum wage workers that don't deserve it, but then, like, it's a whole thing that you don't want to deal with.
Eddington has really messed us up today. And if you haven't noticed, we've got Hunter in the ocean taking care of business his way. I don't know what he was talking about.
I mean, this might be the most important movie of 2025.
It may be.
It may be the most important movie of our lifetime.
It may be. We do need to move on to something else before we all lose our minds. And that is a fun round. We got about 15 minutes here. A fun round of Pick Your Picture. And that is what we're going to do. This is the way it works. I'm going to give you this situation right here. You are forced to spend all day at the movie theater.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 2 franchises to choose. You're going to watch all the movies in that franchise. And you get a choice of which theater you're going to go into and watch all those movies. Does that make sense? You got Theater A and Theater B. Let me know which one you're choosing.
All the movies of the franchise you list?
All the movies of the franchise. Theater A is showing all the Alien movies. This would include Prometheus. This would include Covenant. This does not include Alien Earth, which is not yet debuted, which is a television series. It would include Alien Romulus, Alien 2, 3, 4. Or you can watch all the Predator movies. Which one are you choosing, Theater A or Theater B? Theater A is all the Alien movies. Theater B is all the Predator movies. And it can be because you're a bigger fan of one or the other, or it can be, I haven't seen all of those. I want to see those.
I haven't seen all the Predator movies, but I don't know. Alien franchise has some lows. Because, either way, no matter what choice you go with, you're watching Alien versus Predator. That's
that is
a part
correct.
of the marathon either way.
That's a good point.
I haven't seen all the Predator movies. First one's good, but I also hear there's like a real big drop off when they try to get it going back again with like Predators and The Predator.
I liked Predators.
Okay.
And I really liked Prey as well. And you get that in this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're leaning maybe towards the let me catch up on the other franchise feeling. That's the feeling I'm
I
getting.
am leaning towards that way because with the Alien franchise, 3 and 4 are just abysmal.
Awful. I'm gonna have to implement a shot clock because we got a lot of these to get to.
I'm going Predator.
You're going Predator.
Theater B. Give me Predator.
Going Predator.
Yeah.
Okay. I am also going the Predator route as well. I've never seen Predator on the big screen. I've seen Alien on the big screen thanks to the re-release. I want to see Predator on the big screen, so I'm going with Predator as well. Next, are we going with the Die Hard franchise or are we going with Rambo franchise? Theater A or Theater B? You're forced to go in one of them.
I'll go Rambo.
Going Rambo, okay. Sly Stallone. You did bring up Die Hard with Jai Courtney a couple minutes ago, and I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that they were.
I don't want to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
That one is awful.
I would say Rambo, but I like the first Die Hard a lot, and I saw it in the re-release, so I'm probably going to say Die Hard.
Going with the Die Hard franchise? All right. Die Hard 2 and 3, both very underrated, I think. I think both are good in different ways.
Is it Die Hard 4 or Die Hard 3 that has Justin Long?
So that would be 4.
Yeah. Live Free or Die Hard.
Correct. And I actually thought that was a good movie. I actually like that movie.
What are we gonna call this one? How about Live Free or Die Hard? Yeah, you're hired.
Next one. Hunger Games or Harry Potter? Hunger Games or Harry Potter? All the Hunger Games movies or all the Harry Potter movies in a single day?
I go first on this one.
Sure.
I'm gonna catch some heat for this one. I'm gonna say Hunger Games.
I don't think you're gonna catch heat because I think it's gonna be a unanimous decision here potentially.
Man,
Huge potential.
so
There's
like,
potential.
I'm a bigger fan of the Harry Potter franchise in
Right.
general.
But it's which one are you in the mood to go do today?
That's an 8-movie marathon. That's comfort food. I'll go to it.
Going Harry Potter?
Yeah.
All right. He just doesn't want to be in the same theater as you, Hunter. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I know.
I like my space.
I'm going with Hunger Games as well because I'm trying to watch the Harry Potter movies with my family. And
Space.
yeah, that one. All right, next. Are we going Star Wars or Marvel? MCU. Star Wars or MCU? Now, this wouldn't be a single day. This would be over the course of a month. I'd do for this one.
Okay.
Which one are you going with? Star Wars or MCU?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Is it
It's like
because-
asking me if the Pope's Catholic, Tim. That's like, come on.
I understand, but you like the MCU as well.
I do.
But you did just watch Captain America: Brave New World, so
Stop. Yeah. It was so
you have to watch that again.
And there's about 20 more of them.
That's true.
If
That's
you're
fair.
going the MCU route.
That's fair.
Trying to watch Harrison Ford fake a rage attack is possibly the funniest thing I've seen this year. Period.
Well, you
How
get
about him expo dumping on adamantium?
you get Harrison Ford in both franchises, so you're not going to be able to avoid Harrison Ford. Next up, are we going with the Terminator franchise or are we going with the Rocky franchise? Going to watch all these movies in the theater.
Do the Creed movies count?
The Creed movies do count.
Oh, then Rocky.
You're going Rocky?
Yeah.
I'm going Rocky this
Going
time.
Way more movies.
Terminator has 2 good movies, and that's it.
That's correct.
Because Rise of the Machines is bad. Salvation is just sort of like that early mid 2000s, like everything's a shoot 'em up kind of movie, and then everything after that is just like nearly unwatchable.
Next up, are we going with all the X-Men movies? This includes Logan, X-Men Origins Wolverine, all that.
The Wolverine.
Correct. Or, and this includes Deadpool and Wolverine, or all the Spider-Man movies.
God.
All the X-Men movies or all the Spider-Man movies?
I'm gonna. Okay, here's the
I
thing.
feel like this hurts you. I feel like
It
this
does.
segment hurts you.
It does because I like First Class and I like Days of Future Past. Like those are great movies. Those are great movies. But I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so Spider-Man. Don't hate
Seeing
me.
all the Spider-Man movies?
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No question.
For me, no question X-Men. I'm watching all the X-Men
Okay.
movies. I mean, to see Logan again on the big screen, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I wish they would re-release that for some reason.
I'm shocked
or,
they didn't do it before Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm gonna be honest.
well, they were trying to destroy that movie. But,
Well, that's
so
fair.
they're not
That's
going to
fair.
re-release it. That would have been the ultimate slap in the face to that movie.
Fair.
But, man, yeah, I'm choosing the X-Men movies. Okay, we go to this. All the John Wick movies. This includes Ballerina, having to sit through it again. Or all the Mission Impossible movies, which you just watched. Which one of the two are you going with in the theater all day long? All the Mission Impossible movies, all the John Wick movies.
Mission Impossible, because once you can get past the second one, you're good.
Man, 3 takes it into overdrive, 4, 5, 6, all really quality.
Yeah, like when I was doing my rewatch of the whole franchise, rewatching 4 through 6 didn't even feel like work to me. That was just fun.
So that goes to show once again just how much of a misfire Ballerina was, because I feel like a week ago you're saying John Wick with no hesitation,
Yeah.
but now it's like the formula is just kind of getting stale.
Yeah, give me Mission Impossible. I can't believe I'm saying
I
it.
can't believe it either.
I can't believe it.
Remember
you know,
the-
I'm sitting here just like reminiscing on my rewatch, and I think, yeah, I'll put up with Final Reckoning again.
The last Pick Your Picture we did was with Jeff, and the question was which one of these two movies is going to be better, Ballerina or Mission Impossible, and the Final Reckoning. And I just had it in my gut it was going to be Final Reckoning, and I'm glad I was the only one that went that
Weren't
way.
they talking about doing a spinoff with Anna de Armas' character in the James Bond franchise?
Uh,
like that, like it was like even though she had like a small role in that movie.
I mean, she was on fire in that movie, though.
Yeah.
I mean, she was absolutely throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastball in No Time to Die.
she was great,
She was.
but now it's like
It's the reason Ballerina exists.
yeah, I know, and that's what does that. You know, the impact of the
So
reviews
yes,
hurt that.
what James Bond's group now is thinking is, oh man, we may have dodged, not investing further into her in this world. So.
My thing is, it's not her fault; it's the writing fault, and that's what I hate.
Yes, there's a lot of different angles here. We've had a lot of ballerina content telling you exactly why that movie is failing. So there you go. And we were rooting for it going in. Next up, we got a couple more. The Dark Knight franchise. This does not include the Tim Burton movies. This does not include the Schumacher movies. This is just
talking about the trilogy.
Just the Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. Or just the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
God.
I didn't mean to hurt y'all too bad. But you can only watch one of these. You get Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, or you get Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King.
So,
what are you going with?
Over the weekend, I was rewatching some clips. The airplane scene from Dark Knight Rises. So that has me leaning that way. Plus, I love the other two movies as well. But also,
you're a big guy. For you.
That
sounded like Gumby in the microwave.
Yeah.
For you. Sorry. I love you, Tyler, but that sounded like Gumby in the microwave anyway.
All
Sorry,
right.
go ahead.
I don't know what Gumby sounds like, so cool.
Ryan Brown's Pittsburgh impression. Your Bane impression. Sorry. It's a joke. It's a joke.
My brain isn't working. What was the other one? Lord of the Rings, you said? Mm-hmm. Yeah, over the weekend, I was also listening to the score of Fellowship of the Ring.
So I have yet to hear an answer from either one of you.
Like, you still sound like you're conflicted here.
I'm talking through it. Ooh. I don't know. Right now, I'm thinking Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I'm leaning that way.
Okay.
Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay.
Without a question.
All right. Well, obviously, I'm obviously going Dark Knight trilogy. I do need to catch up on Lord of the Rings. Okay, we go to this.
Pittsburgh.
The Matrix franchise or the Bourne franchise? I know. I have to choose one. You do, unfortunately.
I'm going to say the Bourne franchise, probably.
The Bourne franchise? Yeah. I'm going Bourne franchise, even though I don't like it very much.
Give me Cars at that point. I don't know. Just all these movies I don't want to watch. I guess Bourne. Why not?
We should actually make this a thing where Tyler then gets put into a white van and thrown into the van, and he has to go live his decision, and then he'll take this game way more seriously. Yeah, it's like you will be in theater 13 watching all this stuff. Okay, next.
That's an easy thing to do too. To rent those out, you can get it for like what is it like $200 for a night?
Oh yeah.
They still do that.
Jay in the chat said during the pandemic he was able to rent it out for $150.
Yeah. I thought about, because I saw it on it was either TikTok or I think it was just YouTube at the time. They someone rented out the whole a massive theater AMC and did a Battlefront 2 LAN party, and that would be so much fun. I think.
Okay, we're going rapid fire. 20 seconds on each one of these.
All right.
The Mad Max franchise or the Purge franchise?
Purge.
You're going with the Purge franchise? Purge. I'm actually surprised by that, Hunter. I thought you picked Mad Max.
I'm going Mad Max.
I'm going Purge for sure. I actually like the Purge franchise.
The Mad Max movies.
Yeah, well, you're not missing much. The Kung Fu Panda franchise or the Karate Kid franchise?
Kung Fu Panda.
I'm going Karate Kid.
I'm going Karate Kid as well.
Skadoosh.
Skadoosh.
Next.
Getting with that whooshy finger hold.
Avatar. All the Avatar movies, which right now is 2 of them. Or all the Fast and Furious movies?
Fast and Furious.
Includes Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I don't even particularly like Fast and Furious all that much. I just don't like the other one.
Right. Wait. When I said Avatar, you went, whatever the option, option B is, I can see it.
Yeah, whatever it is not Avatar. I still don't like James Cameron for making something called Avatar when Avatar The Last Airbender exists.
Gotcha. Thank you for getting that off your chest.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Avatar, but here's why. I like the Fast and Furious franchise, but certain ones. That makes sense.
That does make sense. That's typically how it works.
Because at some point, it's just it goes from street races to, hey, let's put a Ferrari on a nuke going to Mars.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hunter, I don't know if you know how this segment works, but there's no perfect franchise I've named yet. There's no perfect franchise.
All right. Yeah.
Like,
there's
no perfect franchise. Dark Knight does not. The last hour of the Dark Knight trilogy really takes it down a notch.
Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Lord of the Rings trilogy, I'm working my way through. But yeah, the Rocky franchise, Rocky 5, having to sit through that would be. I would feel like.
My ring's outside.
I would feel like I had brain damage after watching that. Okay, let's go to this.
We got Creed to look forward to.
Yeah. The Jurassic Park franchise,
Okay.
or the Superman franchise. You can watch all the Jurassic Park movies or all the Superman movies. Which one are you choosing?
Superman. I need to catch up. I meant to tell you this. I tried watching Superman the movie like last weekend. I fell asleep, man. That movie is slow.
Paced slow because audiences back then had attention spans.
I mean, even the opening sequence, I
Talking
thought.
about Christopher Reeves?
Yeah. Even
it
the
is
opening title sequence with
You're
all
right.
the names on the screen, I was thinking, like, man, this is indulgent.
Whenever I watch the credits, I go, people would not sit through this today.
No.
They would get up and
You're
walk out.
right.
No.
But it was made for a different time. You've got to understand, like, that was groundbreaking when it came out. My question to you, Hunter Bussey, Jurassic Park franchise or Superman franchise?
I'm going to say Superman.
Going Superman?
Yeah. Nothing against Jurassic Park, but I need to catch up.
Gotcha.
So.
That's a lot of dinosaurs to have to sit through. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dinosaurs. Yeah. Okay, we go to this. The Despicable Me franchise that includes Minions or the Shrek franchise?
Shrek.
Yeah, no brainer.
Shrek, because Shrek 5 isn't out yet. So the
Oh,
the worst
God.
it can get
Yeah.
is Shrek Forever After.
That's fair. All right.
I forgot about that. Oh, God.
This one is really not fair, but I started running out of juice here. This includes the new movie that comes out this week. So the How to Train Your Dragon franchise or the Transformers franchise. Which one are you sitting through all day? So all the animated movies plus the live action How to Train Your Dragon or all the Transformers movies.
It's funny these are the two choices because I watched a compilation of Shia LaBeouf's character in those movies, like having like crash outs, and it is the funniest thing I've ever seen. So for me, Transformers. Just
Transformers for
that.
you, okay.
Man, just Hunter saying Shia LaBeouf crash out. It just takes me back to hey, you wanted this. This is the real deal.
Yep.
that scene. Oh my God, how ridiculous
When
it
he's
is.
kicking his car.
Yes.
Just
Yeah. Transformers, hands down.
Yeah.
I've called it the peak of American culture, and I'm going to continue with that.
You also get peak Megan Fox in Transformers, and that one shot of her at the car or whatever catapulted her entire career and everything after it. So,
And then they
get that as well.
replaced her with what's her name in the third one, and then everybody was they were trying to make a push for her to be like the next Megan Fox sort of character. The British girl,
The model. What's
Yeah.
the model? Yeah.
Rosie something.
Yeah.
I want to say her name was.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they tried.
Yeah, they tried.
So there we have Pick Your Picture. So many of your thoughts coming in. You guys have been making your choices there, and we've got those logged here in the chat. We appreciate all of you. Hunter, thank you for stopping by. Of
course.
Appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. Come back and see us. Maybe I'll give you more to prepare for next time. It's always fun.
No,
and I appreciate you being here.
I like being shot in the dark on this. So
Well, that's going to continue to happen. If you've missed any part of this, you want to catch up in the car or something, check out the podcast section. However you get podcasts, search for The Meltdown. Give us 5 stars. Download every day. We'd love to have company for you in the car or on your workout or cutting the grass or whatever you do to get away from your family. We are here for you because we are family here. We're Ohana. Anyway, that was my Lilo. We're working on it. Ohana means family.
hi.
That was Stitch. So I'm not even
What did I
sure
say,
if
Lilo?
You said Lilo.
Man, it took the opposite route of that. Yeah, that was Lilo having cooked Stitch for dinner, and we're not gonna get into this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna tell you MyBookie.ag. They're our title sponsor for now. That's MyBookie.ag. Use promo code next round there if you want to have a good time, good party vibe. There at MyBookie.ag. We can bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. There at MyBookie.ag. We'll see you again tomorrow, maybe 2:00 Central, 3:00 Eastern. This has been The Meltdown.